everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to Queen Ahmadiyyah TV presents The Root of All Evil. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click the notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time that I go live. All right, so let's get ready to get into it. Okay. Thank you all for returning to the chat. Hello, Roslyn, Misfits, Baby Doll, October, Kia, LeVar, YS, Silent D is Black, One Who Cares, James Anderson. Let's get into it, people. Now, this is a story about a heist. Let me straighten this up. It looks crooked. Okay, this is a story about a heist, a super heist, how a Youngstown gang traveled to LA to rip off Richard Nixon and stole $30 million in the process. Now, it was one of the biggest bank heists in American history. On March the 24th of 1972, $30 million was taken from the safety deposit vaults of the United California Bank in Laguna Niguel, California, by a group of masked men. Now, these group of masked men from Ohio, they came from Youngstown, Ohio. They were called the Decenio or the Dencio crew. And they had landed at LAX just a few days prior. It was a well-planned heist, so practiced, so drama-filled, with so many stranger-than-fiction events. It's actually hard to understand why it isn't a better-known story. Because clearly most people have not even heard about this. Now, it's the stuff that movies are made of. Now, there's one movie called Finding Steve McQueen. It actually was, kind of based on this. Hey, Judah Queen. Now, here's what the movie was about. It was basically about a fictionalized account of this heist, with several names being changed, but very closely based on reality, right? And we all know that based on is not exactly as, the same as, right? So they add things and take away things and all of that just for dramatic effect. So it's told via flashbacks by getaway driver Harry Barber. That's his real name. The one crook who actually got away for a while at least. Now, according to Barber, who now lives in Southern California and worked with writer Keith Sharon to tell the story, it was Jimmy Hoffa who tipped off Ahmadiyyah, the leader of the group of safecrackers from mobbed up Youngstown. They then they were then known as Crime Town, or it was known as Crime Town, USA. Hoffa allegedly told Dencio that there was $30 million in dirty campaign money hidden by Richard Nixon in the bank Laguna Niguel. So the disgraced Teamster, the leader that is, who had recently been released from jail by a commutation from President Nixon, made contact with the Youngstown mob through his connections in the Cleveland mob. He knew about the money, he said, because he himself had donated $3 million to Nixon's re-election campaign and had heard this was where he was keeping the dirty money. Most of the money, anyway, Hoffa said. Now, this was from extorting dairy farmers in exchange for raising the price of milk. Sounds like mafia tactics to me. Now, it would be the perfect crime because who would report the loss of money that they weren't supposed to have in the first place? Ill-gotten gains. So it's an amazing story, they say. It's one of those when you first read the script, you really can't believe it and you wonder, is it actually true? But it was. Now, Johnston says in 2019, that was the perfect time to release the film in which Watergate figures were prominent. So it was the Youngstown's gang's antipathy towards Nixon that would convince them to do the robbery. They hated Nixon so much, they decided to go through with it, even though they knew the risk. Some, like Barber, had been trying to lead a straighter life, but suddenly got pulled back in. Now, William Fitcher, who was the gang leader, now He's the one that the film is, you know, based around or whatever, pretty much. And he like shines in the film. So anyway, he persuaded his brother, James, his brother-in-law, Charles Mulligan, and Harry and Ronald Barber, his nephews, to come with him to California. Cleveland super thief Phil Christopher, that's what he was known as. He was an alarm expert from Collingwood. Well, he was also a part of the crew. Now, as Clevelander Charles Brokill talked about this in a 2012 documentary, he said it was America's biggest bank score. So they practiced this for months at home before heading to Los Angeles for their mission. They included practice getaways. You know, they did all sorts of things to prepare themselves for this. So Barber, who also worked on an extensive podcast with writer Keith Sharon for the Orange County Register, he was consulted when they made the movie about it. And the movie was filmed in Atlanta. And though Johnson did not come visit Youngstown, he did do his research. So let me tell you something. This whole thing was so crazy, right? What is ScrewTube doing now? Are they buffering or something like that? Hey, one who cares. Okay, so anyway, listen, if ScrewTube's doing something, maybe check your devices, people, because sometimes it's your devices. I'm not sure. Unless we have multiple people complaining about the same thing. Hold on, people. Everyone, please get the likes up. Please like and share. Like and share. Fine on your end. Okay, yeah, it's probably your device, FBI goddess. Okay. All right, so anyway, let's get back into it, people, with the nefariousness. Okay, so anyway, they actually have a video of one of the people that was involved in this, which I'm going to show you in just a minute. And they also talk about confessions of the mastermind. So anyway, now, as I told you all, they made a movie about this or whatever, and the guy Barber was one of those who escaped for just a minute, right? So they said it wasn't perfect, though. Dencio admits that he made a few mistakes. He left the getaway car in California with all their tools in the false trunk under the spare tire. He also says he wished that he didn't take on two outsiders for the job, and that was Phil Christopher and Charlie Brokill. He did it as a favor, but Dencio admits that, you know, he admits to getting caught up in his success. He says, we were invincible. We ain't gonna get caught. You know what I mean? That's what they were thinking. 3 months after the burglary, Dencio and most of his crew were arrested and later convicted of a crime that at the time spawned the largest FBI manhunt ever. Now, Dencio believes that the FBI framed him by stealing fingerprints to tie him to the getaway car and the condo that the crew rented as the headquarters near the crime scene. He says, let me tell you something. Them boys are good. I'll give them credit to they got the job to do, or they're good at what they do. But they do it right. Now, Dencio also believes that Brokill worked as an FBI informant against them to beat a murder case that he had. He amassed hundreds of documents over the years to prove his case. He filed a complaint, and this is Dencio. He filed a complaint in 1994 alleging corruption in the investigation, but it was determined that there was no wrongdoing. So this is all after the facts. Now, keep in mind, when all of this was going down, the gang temporarily got away with the heist. Nixon never said a word. He had other worries on his mind at the time. But it did lead to the biggest manhunt in FBI history, with 125 agents assigned to the case. Now, the gang made its way back to Ohio, where instead of laying low, they robbed a bank in a similar way later that year. Now, the FBI soon took notice and eventually tied them to the California job, thanks to some fingerprints that were left on the dishwashers. Now, they cleaned the rest of the place so well, but forgot about the dishwasher. It was new technology at the time, you see. Now, Barbara got away, living under an assumed name in a small town in Pennsylvania until he fell in love with the sheriff's daughter. Isn't that something? And that's what got him caught. He says, all the most amazing parts of the movie are true. And even though it's hard to believe, it's true. So I thought that was all crazy. Now, this crew got together. They were from Ohio, Youngstown, Ohio, go all the way up to LA to rob this $30,000. And Jimmy Hoffa told them about this. Maybe that's why he came up missing. Nobody ever heard hide nor tell of him since. You all do know about that, right? Jimmy Hoffa, never to be seen or heard from again. This could be likely part of the reason why. Telling somebody where $30 million is hidden and then they go and steal it. So anyway, I'm going to show you an interview. Yeah, it is crazy, right? Real crazy, if you ask me. Now I'm going to show you an interview of the mastermind behind this whole thing. I'm going to share my screen. Everyone, please like and share the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure you click the notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time that I go live on this channel. Here we go. Let's get into it, people.
A movie being made on the Denzio crew from Youngstown and how they burglarized a California bank, stealing millions from President Nixon. I sat down with Emil Denzio this afternoon. He's the mastermind behind it all. He wrote a book about how his crew was able to pull this off. Tonight, he takes us inside the vault.
The frame job. Frame job.
He's known as one of the most prolific bank burglars of the 60s and 70s.
These FBI guys are lying like hell.
Emil Denzio started burglarizing banks at the age of 16. With his older brother James, they first hit a bank in Wheeling, West Virginia.
We'd stop there in Wheeling, a little restaurant there. Had good hot sausage and all that. And there was a bank there, so we thought maybe we could rob that. And that's how that happened. And it was very simple to do.
The Denzios would spend years burglarizing banks, experts at their craft, defeating bank alarms, using explosives to blast holes into vaults, and drilling into deposit safes.
You would get Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in the night drops, which I explained in the back of my book about night drops. You get 600-700 bags of money. That's a lot of money.
In 1972, Jimmy Hoffa, head of the Teamsters Union, gave out a score for the Denzio crew to steal $30 million from President Richard Nixon. That money being kept in a vault at United California Bank in Laguna Niguel.
The bank was right over here. Sound good, $30 million, so you got to go look at it.
The crew headed west and spent a weekend inside the vault.
And that was the alarm bell there that we filled with the foam so it wouldn't make no noise. We just cut a hole in the plywood. There's rubber on the top and insulation. You just take that out with a crowbar, L-bar, and then you cut the wood, and you're right in on top of the vault.
Emil and his crew walked away with over $12 million of Nixon's money. It's known as the biggest bank vault burglary in U.S. history.
I liked Nixon, I really did. I liked him as a person and all that, because I guess he was a crook.
A few months after the California burglary, Denzio would be arrested by the FBI while leaving his Boardman home. To this day, he will tell you the FBI planted evidence to bring him down.
Page 144 in the book, you'll see 13 batteries. I put a circle around it. They used my fingerprint on that battery to plant in that car in California to tie me to the car.
Now, Emil's book, Inside the Vault, is available now. He's having a book signing April 27th at the Boardman Barnes & Noble. That begins at 1 p.m. We have all of that information for you on our website, WKBN.com.
Here's the thing. He says that they planted evidence to bring him down. Funny thing is, he actually did it. So did they really frame him? You know, there's a saying that you can know someone did something, but you can't prove it. Knowing it is one thing and proving it's another. So obviously they knew that he did it, but they couldn't prove it. So they used trickery or whatever, unethical practices, no less, to bring him down. At the end of the day, planted evidence, they've been doing that to Black people for centuries. Absolutely. But in these cases, they do it to Black people when they're absolutely innocent. In his case, he was guilty. He was actually there. He was one of the masterminds. So why is he complaining? I'm just saying, make it all make sense, right? And with that all being said, they always want to act like Black people are such the thieves and crooks and burglars and all these things and robbers and all that. But pay attention. The biggest heists that have been committed in America were done by the Hellman's crew. That's just the fact. That's just the fun fact. You can look it all up. Okay? You can look it all up. The biggest heist in the U.S. history, all of them collectively, were done by the Hellman's crew. And that's facts. So, with that all being said, that concludes this broadcast. I hope you all enjoyed that nefarious tale, no less. And please make sure you like and share the video. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Be sure to click the notification bell. Click the word all so that you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Don't forget you can follow me on Instagram at Queen Ahmadiyyah, on Instagram at divine_goddess_27, Brighton and Patreon at Queen Ahmadiyyah. Okay, with that all being said, I hope to see you all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed in the morning for your morning wake-up call. All right, I didn't mean to put that on the screen. Melanated brown. Oh, I'm trying to figure out where that came from. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so anyway, I hope to see you all in the morning for your morning wake-up call, and then again tomorrow at 6 for your daily vitamins, okay? I'm going to try to schedule an interview this week, all right? So with that all being said, everyone, enjoy the rest of this lovely evening. Stay high vibrational, and look forward to your spiritual vitamins being dished out this week, okay? Until next time, Royal Family, I'll talk to you all again soon.